Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining me for solving child exploitation cases with Digital Evidence Investigator Pro. I'm your host. My name's Rich Frawley. I spent 22 years in law enforcement up here in Connecticut at the Milford Police Department. 17 of those years as a certified forensic computer examiner, certified by ASIS, and an investigator, a full service lab. We were also affiliated with the Connecticut Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, and with that, I've investigated a bunch of cyber tips and gone out in the field and done consent searches and search warrants, arrests, so on and so forth. I'm in my 4th year with ADF Solutions. I'm the digital forensic specialist here. You may see me at some of the shows, on the road, training, web demos. We do a lot of different things here. It's been keeping me busy. Miss Law Enforcement, retired, like I said, a little over 3 years ago. But it's great. I still get to work with everybody out there who's still doing this type of work. I get to interact with you on different bases. And, first and foremost, thank you for everything that you're doing out there. I know this is a tough job doing the child exploitation cases, but it is also very rewarding. So let's get into this. I don't want to waste a lot of your time today. I know everybody's kind of busy, but talking about child exploitation cases, a lot of the cases come from the cyber tip line, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, or NCMEC, which operates the U.S. tip line. It's that national mechanism for the public and service providers to report suspected child abuse exploitation. And in 2018, some of the stats are there's 18.4 million reports. And that's for child sexual abuse images, sextortion, online enticement, your sex trafficking, familial sexual molestation, as well as others. You can go down there and see all the stats. It's just amazing. 18.4 million reports last year, and a lot of you out there doing the work. This is a lot of the work that you're getting and doing. Since its inception, they've had 45 million reports. So just imagine all those being investigated, and a lot with great, solid outcomes. So what we want to do is to be able to help you make these cases when you're going out and investigating these. We've put together a great tool here. I'm really proud of it. Proud of the development team, sales team, marketing team, that we just all come together, and this tool really is amazing. So, triage, it's become that accepted practice, especially with your child exploitation cases. It's been said that 90% of your cases can be solved with 10% of the data. And that's true. You guys want to make that decision on scene. You want to get to that data as fast as you can. So, to effectively fight child exploitation, we need to get to that evidence fast. Can't allow the victims to remain unidentified. We can't have, things stuck in forensic backlogs or using outdated methodologies. Time changes, and we need to move with that. We need to identify these suspects, get them off the streets, get them where they belong. Got to keep up with the trends, all the different things. So with triage, we're looking at the volatile data. We're looking at collecting your RAM, the low-hanging fruit, getting that stuff right off the bat that's going to make your decision on scene. Yeah, there it is. There's the child abuse material. There it is. He's been manipulating it. And by that, I mean he's been opening it or using it. Collecting the artifacts that's going to put that together for you, so when you make your decision, you have a report later on that day. Helps you perform the interviews, your interrogations. Helps with the search, what you are looking for, what's been attached to this computer, all in minutes and all up front. So while we're doing this, and as I've said, NCMEC, or the National Center, is a lot of a bulk of the work that you do. And so when you get your cyber tip reports, and this is a refresher, maybe some of you are new out there listening, but I just like to get this point across, that These lines are in the report, and they're very important. That NCMEC does not investigate and cannot verify the accuracy of the information reported to them. They forward these reports to law enforcement for investigation and disposition. So they're giving this to you to investigate, right? Again, out of the report, under no circumstances shall this report be used as evidence of a criminal wrongdoing. Meaning, you have to investigate it, you have to follow up on it, and I used to call it refreshing. They would give me the information, we would refresh it, get the information we needed, do the search warrants, do the knock and talks, whatever it took. Again, when they're sending you the images, very important to remember that just because they're sending you an image doesn't mean it's an image of child abuse. It could be part of a series, meaning you have to look a little bit farther. So identified children, they're saying, yeah, these hashes are identified, and it may be one of the pictures where they were fully clothed, and not one of the pictures that can be classified as the abuse material. So it's basically to make sure it fits with your policy, procedures, and laws, because everyone everywhere is different. The recognized hash values, meaning we've seen this before, but again, it may not be child pornography in your jurisdiction or your area, and it does not depict the identified children. And then unrecognized is we don't know, these have not yet been submitted, we didn't see it, and you may need to do some further investigation when you see this as to maybe this is a local victim or brand new pictures that have just been created. And then again, as you're going through, they're sending you these images, and here's where it tells you in your report, these are unconfirmed files, they have not been reviewed. So, with their system, you're able to hash these, get your hash values if you want to bring them into a tool like ours, and search for those across the computer. So just a little refresher, just a little update. I just like to make that, I know you guys all know that, but I like to go over that prior to do that. So with our tool, now we've had a cyber tip, we've had an online investigation, we've had something come into our office, and we've traced it back, and we need to go on scene or in the lab. You have a computer in the lab or a phone in the lab, or on scene. You can scan iOS or Android devices with Digital Evidence Investigator Pro. Okay, I'm going to walk through the steps right here on what you can scan. So iOS and Android devices, okay, you connect that through your cable to your laptop or forensic workstation. So if you're out in the field and you want to do a phone, you just have to have a laptop with DEI Pro or any one of our other Pro tools. And you would be able to either back up that phone and scan it later, or back up and scan at the same time. In the lab, okay, you can scan your drive images, so your EO1s, your DDs, any external drives that are connected through a write blocker, or any other drives connected through that write blocker, SD cards, so on and so forth, partitions, removed hard drives, et cetera, connect it through that write blocker, hook it up to your laptop or forensic workstation running ADF, and then you can scan that for what you're looking for. And then the third way, this is going out into the field. So you have this now installed on your forensic workstation, and we're going to run through this today. We're going to show you all this, but you're going to set up what's called the collection key. That's a USB drive. If you get the kit, it's a Samsung 256 gig SSD drive, tested to be one of the fastest out there. You get your license, and what you would do is put your profiles or what you're looking for onto this USB drive, take it out into the field, plug it into the suspect computer, whether it is off or whether it is up live and running if it's Windows. So here what I'm showing you is a powered off computer, MacBook Pro, a Linux, a Windows machine. You want to know what's on it, you can plug in this collection key, you can boot to the USB device and then scan that computer. And the other way is if you have a Windows machine that is up and running, which is typical when you're on scene, you can plug this in, run this live, and do your scan. And that's one of the first things we're going to show you when we get to the demonstration in a couple minutes here. And there we are, it's demo time. So let me just minimize that. Wait for this to refresh. Now you should all be seeing our tool. This is Digital Evidence Investigator Pro. What makes it pro is it has the ability to scan the mobile devices. Hold on one second. There we go. I'm just moving something off my screen. So very clean, very easy to use. You can scan your devices and images. Prepare your collection key we're going to go through. You can do imaging, review your scan results, set up or customize. We'll go through that a little bit. A brief overview. Your settings and your user guide is here should you need it. Let's go into scan devices and images. And you can see that anything attached to the computer shows up under target devices. So this is on my forensic machine, my laptop, my lab computer, whatever I'm using. You have your target devices here. And you can see I have an external passport. I have an external Samsung there. I have my search profiles in the middle. That's what you use to scan the computers. Okay, this is, we'll go over what's inside of those, your scan information. And then once you select everything, you would be able to scan that. So what I'm going to show you first is those were our target devices, but I can also point it towards a folder that contains evidence. And maybe I want to run some keywords against that, or I want to pull some pictures out, or I want to do some type of small investigation with that. I could also point it towards a network attached device, or maybe my CD or DVD drive to scan something there. I can add forensic image files. So if I have an EO1 file or a DD file, I can add it there. First thing I'm going to show you here is the phone. So you're on scene, you have a laptop with you, you're looking, or you're in the lab, somebody comes in, consent, or you've had it seized and you know what you're looking for on here. You can add your phone, so iOS, Android, you have to have the credentials for it. We're doing a logical on this, so you have to have access to the phone. I'm going to select Android here, and you can see it's asking me to connect the device now, so I would plug in my Android device. Of course, there's a couple of things you have to do first. If the phone is not in debug mode, it's going to tell you. So first, you want to make sure you have the credentials and it's open. You want to make sure that it's in airplane mode. Then you're going to plug it in here. It's going to detect it. It's going to check if the debug mode is on. If it's not, it's going to walk you through it. It's going to make sure the drivers are installed, that it's communicating. Anywhere along here, if there's an issue, you will have instructions that show up here. You can see it went through the wizard here. Everything's set. The device is ready. I hit OK. And now my phone is under targeted devices. So I can select one of our mobile profiles. So this would grab, all the different items that you typically want off your phone. It's a comprehensive, it will grab everything. But you can also customize these to grab just specific information. If I wanted to just go in and get messaging, I can have a profile set, and I have one down here. It says mobile messaging only. So now that it's connected, I would be able to select my profile, give it a name, and hit scan. What it would do, it would go right into backing up this phone and then doing the scan. Another way to do this, all right, let me disconnect this phone again, is I can go into a backup. So if I backed up this phone first, I could then point it to the backup that I made. So later, somebody comes in to your lab, to your office, or you're on scene, you're on scene somewhere, and you have consent to get into this phone. They want their phone back. We all know that. It's everybody's life is in their hand. So you would point it to the backup here, or make a backup of it that you could scan later. So now I pointed towards that backup I made. I hit custom mobile messages only, and I hit scan. So what it's going to do is it's going to start going through and scanning that backup. You can see here it's going through, pulling out the messages, it's pulling out the the contacts. There's not a lot on this phone. It's just for demonstration purposes. It's not really the NSRL hash sets that I'm running here. It was something I put together for a demo. But you can see it's going through and looking just for these hashes. It's not actually pulling out anything other than what's there, and then it's also looking for keywords. So if I spent 5 or 6 minutes creating this backup, or 9 minutes, I can tell you my iOS phone, used every day, pictures, videos, lots of texting, messaging on there. It was backed up in about 7 to 9 minutes, and then I can come through and do the messaging apps and stuff like that, or run some hashes or run some keywords and have it done in a couple of minutes. So you're not looking at a lot of time on scene if you do it that way. So just a little different way of doing it. While it's scanning, you can go in and view results, or I can stop the scan and back out. So you can see here, it finished while I was doing that. So it comes in, it took me 1 minute and 18 seconds to run that scan against the backup. Again, there wasn't a lot on this one, but you're not looking at much more time when you're just parsing out those types of items. So just a little recap on that. You can go on scene or in the lab, go to scan devices and images, either back up and scan the phone at once, or create a backup and then scan it after. Let me show you the search profiles so you kind of get an idea of what they are. And I'm going to look at this is one for a computer. So what a search profile is, it's a collection of artifact captures and file captures. Artifact captures go in and parse out specific files and pull the information out, such as your peer-to-peers, your downloads, your shared. You can see here we have eMule, Shiraza, GigaTribe, uTorrent, BitTorrent. In our communication, you can see all the different apps that are supported. And so a search profile makes up all these artifact captures, which are denoted by the icons, and file captures, which are going in and grabbing specific files based on properties. Here it's multimedia, your videos, and your pictures. So you could put this together in any combination and use this on scene, fully customizable. And without getting into it too far, I can also add my own keywords, my own hash sets. If I have an MD5 SHA-1 or VIX or CADE data sets can also be pulled in and run with this tool as well. So artifact capture search profiles are made up of artifact captures and file captures specific to what you are looking for. When run against the data, it will collect what you asked it to and put it in a nice format that we're going to do here. So we've done a phone. The next thing you would do if you're going on scene, you're on scene and there's several computers usually you come across. You have the suspects and maybe you have family computers, the spouse and the kids, they have their school computers. The spouse may have their work computer. You can prepare a collection key to go out into the field and scan those items. So I'm just going to plug in a USB device here. You can see over under my collection key, know what you have connected to your computer. You can see here I have my work files, I have another passport drive, but here's my collection key and it's named CKY for collection key. It's that Samsung 256 gig. I want to select that. That's what I'm going to take out into the field with me with ADF on it. But first you pick your profiles. So we have profiles in different categories: quick, intermediate, and comprehensive. Quick and intermediate are targeted at the user profiles when you're doing a scan. So it's getting you to that information first. We're all about getting you what you're looking for, weeding out the noise, and you'll see how that works as we go along here. Quick is very fast. It's your low-hanging fruit. It's based on keywords. And you can see here I chose one. It's called IPOC. That's Indecent Pictures of Children. I can also choose an intermediate. That not only uses keywords, it also runs a hash set that's in here that we give you. It's about 400,000 hashes, runs keywords, but it also collects all the files for you as well, so you can take a look and do your analysis. And then you'd also be able to bring out anything that you wanted, like a custom one. If it had your keywords in it, maybe your category 1 VIX, maybe the cyber tip keywords, or maybe the images. So a cyber tip, Tumblr sent you 100 images through this cyber tip. You could point it at those 100 images, hash them, and bring that into your custom profile. And then you can see here, I'm going on scene. So I want something also to be able to scan thumb drives if they're attached to the computer. So I call that my non-operating system drive, and it's going to pick out the multimedia. So low-hanging fruit to see what's on these thumb drives that may be attached to your computer. I would select prepare, and what that does is it takes this USB device, it prepares it by making it bootable, so we can plug it into any powered down computer, Windows, Mac, or Linux, boot to it and do a scan, and also prepare it to run live. The first time you do this, it takes about 7 or 8 minutes, and then the second time you create one, it uses an image that we've created. The first time, it only takes a couple minutes to prepare a key. You can prepare as many as you want to take out in the field. If you think you're going to run into 12 computers on scene, you can bring out 12 USB devices, plug them into all 12 computers, and scan them all at the same time with one license. And I'll show you how that works in 1 second, because we are going to run a live scan. So I'm going to turn this off here. All right, so we've left the lab, we're out on scene, and I want to, I come across a Windows machine that's up, live, and running, and I'll plug in that USB device. So it opened up here in front of you. That's my collection key. All right, I'm on a live Windows machine. You would plug it in, and just like any tool, we make no broad claims here, but any tool that you plug into a live machine will make changes. Windows will make changes, I should say, because Windows detects it and says there's a USB device that's been installed. And when you execute the program, when I hit start.bat here, Windows is going to make some changes and say it just executed a program. Once this is up and running, you'll see this lock to my screen here in a second. No further changes are made to the system. We are running from the key, no dates, times, metadata, nothing. We've taken control, and we are going to run live on this system now. You can see the first thing it does is going to create a RAM dump for you. If you select it, all you need to do is click on that, and it will collect your RAM to the thumb drive or to the collection key. Once that is done, it's fast. You can come up to scan computer. So you'll see a little difference here under target devices, because now I have access to the system drive. So you can see all the partitions that are on my system drive, as well as the other items that are attached to this computer. And I just plugged in another one here that is BitLocker encrypted. So you can see if you had maybe the system drive or something attached like this thumb drive that was encrypted, it will tell you, and you will be able to unlock it if you have the credentials. So I can enter the credentials for this thumb drive, and it will now unlock it. And there you can now see I have access to that because I had the credentials. So I'm on the live machine. These are my target devices. I could turn these off. I could scan everything, but you're on scene. You have time constraints. You kind of want to make sure that you're scanning where you want. So if this child X was my user partition or my system partition where the user's profiles are, I would only select that. I would select the profile that I wanted. I would give it a name, maybe a suspect room laptop, and this is fully customizable. You can add other fields in here, and then you would hit scan. And just like the phone ran before, you could see everything that we've asked it to collect. The first thing the system does is it makes a listing of every file and folder that's on that computer, regardless of whether you collect it or not, so you'll always have that. The second thing it does is it goes through and parses out the artifacts. You can see here that it went through application usage, search terms, installed applications, anti-forensic traces, calls. You can see here that I've got the indecent pictures of children keywords in the file names and keywords of the user profile. It went through and auto tagged. So there's my level 1. I've got 2 images that were tagged as level 1, and I've got 5 at level 2. So you can see visually in just a couple of minutes here that I know I'm onto something in this computer. Again, you could come in and view your results as this is scanning. So I could come through, I could come back and go to my pictures and see that I have some matches here. There are my 2 level 1, the red lines tagged there, and there's my level 2s. And then you can see there's also pictures that have a magnifying glass in the upper right-hand corner that shows that's a picture, that's a match on a keyword or a hash set. So it kind of leads you right to these pictures. So within a couple of minutes, it's been running, it ran for 55 seconds. I can update that. I can refresh my view if I've been in here viewing and I want to see what else it's collected. I could come back in here. So in a minute and 32, it's collected 608 files, parsed out all the artifacts. I've found, you know, at least 2 level 1s, and if that's enough for you at this point, you can stop the scan. So let's say I am live. I can step out and stop the scan. Everything that I've collected up to this point where I stopped it is on that collection key, okay? There is no need for me to go back in and tell it that I want these pictures or I want those pictures. And that's very important, especially in a consent case, that we've collected it and it's on there. It's okay that, you know, if you see it and you say, I'm going to seize the computer anyways, that's fine. But if you don't know, you can't really go back after they withdraw consent and say, oh yeah, I want this, this, and this as well. So you can see here the scan finished with the status interrupted. I can go in and view my results. So I've stopped it prior to it finishing, but there they are. There are my pictures, all ready to go. I can come back out now. If I need to image the computer, I could image anything that's attached. Or I can go back into scan. You can see I had that BitLocker key. I opened it up. So I want to scan that, and I can now scan that with my non-operating system drive. So what this means is it's looking at the entire file system regardless of paths for any of the information that's on there. So you can see I had some hash sets, and it's collecting pictures first, and then it'll do the hashes second. But you can see here how quick it was to go through and start collecting pictures. In my demos, if you've ever seen one of my demos before, in keeping with the way these cases work, is with child exploitation, when you see it, you know it. And you usually see a lot of it. So with my demonstrations, I put dogs on there. They're a lot easier on the eye. And when you see one, you know it. So it kind of makes that link here. So going through this, you can see I'm collecting all these pictures, and it found 16, it matched 16 hashes as I went through it. So that thumb drive had pictures on it. I scanned it with that non-operating system. I got 16 more hits. So if I was on scene, I've scanned the user partition, and then I've scanned the USB device, and I've got my hits. And I'll be able to take this back now and make a report. Let me just step back here again and quickly go over, I'm running a demo here. But if you're running a scan on a computer, on a suspect computer, depending on how much RAM they have, of course, because you're using their computer as the power, A quick scan should only take about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on what's on that computer, and again, what kind of power that computer has. An intermediate scan can run from that 5 minutes to 15, 20 minutes, depending on what you have in there, what you're looking for, how you've customized it. And comprehensive scans will take hours. That's an everything from everywhere, reserved basically for the lab. You're not going to run that on scene, but you're not going to spend a lot of time on scene with this either. You're going to get those artifacts parsed out. You're going to start seeing pictures come across that screen. You'll be able to see it visually. You'll be able to see, you could be standing on the other side of the room and see if you're getting something on these computers. So again, I scanned the two things. If I wanted to image it, I could image it. If I want to do some reviewing on scene, I can go back into that here. So again, I'm still on a suspect machine. I could come in here and see all the pictures that were auto tagged. I can also go through here and see those as well. And you can see they were just about all dogs. So I think I would have an easy time making a decision on scene with something like this. So you pick out the uniqueness in your cyber tip or what you're going to look for. You bring out your unique hashes, you make your customized profile, you start scanning the computer on scene, and you're going to get what you're looking for. You're going to be able to make your decisions. Let me close this down. So we leave the scene. I've done these scans. I've done some analysis on scene, and now we're going to go back to the lab. We're going to hook up to the lab computer. If you have a mobile van, you could have this in your mobile van and bring it out and do it the same way. If it's a little more powerful, you can hook up that way. But you can see I started up the laptop back at the lab. I insert my USB and it automatically wants me to back these up. It's telling you, take it off the key, put it onto your computer. You don't have to. You can still do your analysis and your results from the key, but every time it will nag you. We will not let you forget that there are items on that key. I can go into review results. What I'm going to do is go into a custom canine that I had finished and give you a little idea on how you can analyze when you have full results here. So this is starting up. This is a completed scan. This was a typical user partition and the artifacts that you typically have. So it was on another drive. It took 4 minutes and 20 seconds to scan. It collected 6,400 files. It auto tagged 85 child abuse material and 6 as were tagged level 7 or 3 level 7. And those level 7s are the IP address keywords. So when this was running, you would have been able to see 85 get tagged. You would have been able to see 3. And if I can click on that, you'll be able to see there's the IP address if that was from your cyber tip. That gives you a heads up that, yep, I got the right computer, I got the right people, I'm getting the right files. I have all my results down here that I can go to. If I wanted to go look at my cyber tip keywords, I can go there right away. One of the things about our keywords, you can see the name Shard Lake was our keyword. If he was somebody of interest in my investigation, let's say a trader or somebody who had been contacting here, I could just take a quick look and see that his name showed up in the calls table, in emails, in messages, and in contacts. So just visually by clicking through there and not even looking at the results, I can say that Shard Lake is having some type of communication with the user of this computer. And there's my IP address. Another way to use this as well, if I go back to my summary page and go to anti-forensic traces, just giving you the quickness in which we get you to what you're looking for. CCleaner, anti-forensic tool, goes through, cleans out. You can see I have 2 files on here named CCleaner, so there's your executable in the folder. I have browser cache information, browser history information, download history, and it's installed, and it's been searched for. So I know that CCleaner may be an issue, and this is information that you can pass on to your forensic examiner, if you were out on scene, then you bring this information back and he's going to go through the computer again, due diligence, no victim left on a shelf. He would be able to see that there is these types of items on there. So from the summary page, I can go anywhere. I have all my information. On scene or back at the lab, you can see I have some tagged items. I have some matched items. Very, very simple to come through and filter. So if I go into my filters and I'm sorry, if I go up to the top and look at my matches, or not my matches, my tags, the tags are these category ones. I can filter those out and say, just show me pictures that have no value. I hit apply, and now you can see my tagged items have been hidden. They're not gone, they're just hidden from my view. That leaves me with these pictures that have the matches icon, which is a match on either a keyword or a hash set. So I could now filter my matches in and say, I just want to see pictures that are matches. And you would be able to go through this fairly quick and tag those as you would want. And then if I turn off that matches filter, because they're now tagged, this is the work I have left to do. Another thing we give you is photo probability. So as we were going through scanning and collecting, we're also determining whether these are icons, pixels, or icons, emojis, and those types of images. So I'm just going to put a 70% on there because some will still show up. But you can see out of the 6,400 pictures, if I look up here in the upper right-hand corner, there's 5,100 now being shown. So it cleared out about 1,200 of those icons and emojis and stuff. Kind of clears up that noise for you. So I filtered those out, gives me less work to do, and now I can go through and do my scanning. We also have a classifier. This runs after the scan. It doesn't run during the scan because it does take some time and it's not immediate. But if you did a comprehensive scan or you're looking to classify your images, it runs after. And you can see we have all different types of categories that it goes. So you can see the pictures with weapons, or I could come back in. Let me turn that off again. Went to my filter, went to my visual class, and I could pick out vehicles, and I have a slider here to give it the confidence level on what it is. Again, it is artificial intelligence, but you can see I selected that and it pulled out 5 pictures that have vehicles in it. So we have the classifier. A lot of ways for you to get through your noise and to what you're looking for. But I went on scene, I made my decision. You can see here I have a picture of a bulldog. One of the other things we do is we link artifacts. So by that I mean is it looked at this picture and it then went through to see where that picture may have come from. And if there's a link in either peer-to-peer, messaging, email, downloads, or recent files, it will link it together for you. So you can see this picture, which is one of my category ones, came through a download and has 3 recent files. So I'd be able to look at this and say there was user manipulation. Right? He downloaded it and it's been looked at either by link, jump list, or MRU in the registry. I have those recent file entries showing that. I can also take it to the path to see if there's anything else in the folder, and to our timeline. Our timeline is every individual artifact record that's been collected and all the files put together into a comprehensive timeline. So you can see just without any filtering, I can go backwards from when this picture was downloaded, the browser visited, the download started, download completed, the website that was visited, the whole bit. I can also filter this by activities and build a timeline based on a lot of different identifiers with people, principal or recipients, times, dates, a lot of different ways to go through in the advanced analysis. So a lot of ways for you to put your case together and make your decisions fast. So we went through the pictures, I did that. Videos, you know, if you've never seen our tool before, you're gonna love this. We collect frames, first frame, last frame, 48 from in between. So you can set this on your first video and just arrow down through your videos to see what's in there. If you thought there might be something in there, you can zoom in on it. We have zooms for the thumbnails, or you can go and also preview the video in the pane here, or you can open it with one of your tools on your machine. Keywords timeline. I've put enough together here. I've made my decision. I've brought back to the lab. I've opened it up. I just want to report. You know, I don't want to do any analysis yet. I've made my decision. I've made my arrest. I need to get this to the court for tomorrow. I can come in here and create my HTML report. Everything that has been tagged is automatically placed in my report. It may be a little difficult for you to decipher this right now, but across the top are my tags. There's my child abuse material. You can see everything that's been collected is tagged and in my report. If I wanted to add my summary page, I just select that. You know, my operating system information, any other data that's been collected, I can add to my report with just a click. HTML, PDF, CSV, and I can also create a standalone viewer. So I went out, I did the scan, I only tagged a couple of items, made my decision, made my arrest. I can now put this in a standalone viewer and hand it off to another investigator to go through and continue on with the investigation. They will not need a license to do that. This is also great for archiving. You could put this case away when you're done in a standalone viewer, pull it out 3 years from now, open it up just like the day you put it away in the same viewer, same version, no worries about backwards compatibility or any of that. You can also export to VIX data. So all the multimedia that you collected, if you wanted everything, you would select it, save it out into the VIX data, then you can import that into another tool if you'd like to do that. But I will tell you that if you import VIX here and you do a comprehensive scan of this computer, you're going to have 99.9% of your classification done and finished. So that's on reporting. Let me just cover customization really quick here, show you that you can. So back, if I go into setup scans, I have my profile library. I can copy one. Let's say I have intermediate indecent pictures of children. I can hit copy. I can turn on or turn off any one of these that I may want to run. Maybe I don't want to run that, but I want to turn on one of my hashes. So these are all custom hash sets that I brought in. You only need to bring them in once, but I can select, there's my Project Vic category ones, and now that would be part of this profile. If I've never brought in hash sets before or keywords, I can go to new capture and add my keywords here just by going to import and typing it, passing it to my text or CSV, and that would import my keywords, or I can type them in one by one. If I come here and hit enter, I will get another line that I can start and bring that in. We can search against file and folder names, search against artifact records from other captures. That's kind of what I was showing you with our keywords earlier. These hits are going to come up very quick and not add any time to your scan. Then you just need to tell it what you want to search those keywords against, how you want to search, how you want to identify, and you can target specific areas like the user profiles. I could just select those and hit OK. And then I would save that and give it a name, and that would now be a keyword list for me to use. Hashes are the same way. I could point it, like I said before, to a folder that has some files in it, and it will hash the files. I could point it to a CSV or text file, and I can also import the VIX data or K data. You just point it to the JSON file here, and it will bring that in. This is just a sample one, but you can see it brought in that data. It will automatically categorize it and tag it for you as it's going through the scan. So very simple there to organize. So you can see I have my custom ones in here, and that's my search profile. Let me now kind of jump out of here for a minute. All right, so that's kind of the hands-on portion that I wanted to show you there. One of the things I want to also let you know is all our forensic tools, whether it's DEI, Triage Investigator, TG2, or Mobile Device Investigator, they're all the same. It's a single uniform user experience. It's designed on the Microsoft Fluent framework. It's easy use with the ability to be highly configurable. I went over it high level today, but you would really be able to see it gets you through that noise, identifies, correlates files, user activities, and artifacts, scale through large terabytes of data looking for just what you want to pull out of it, same day court-ready reports. It really is very clean and easy to pick up on and use. Again, pre-configured scans that we give you that you can build upon, your quick, your intermediate, and your comprehensive. The timeline view, the who, the what, the where, the when, all put together, comprehensive, all the artifacts, all the files, you can customize it. It really, really tells a great story. And from triage through thorough investigations. As I was saying, we have our quick, the fast. So you can go through a 2 terabyte drive, process it in 5 minutes for pictures, videos, documents related to user activity, process the pictures with hashes or keywords, low-hanging fruit, all the way up to, you know, that same 2 terabyte drive with a comprehensive scan and collecting images out of unallocated space. You can do that in about 6 hours. So just look at this as a sliding scale, and you can really customize your scans to get you anywhere you want to be. Portable reports, I kind of went over that. The standalone viewer, you can put it out onto a thumb drive, hand it off to somebody else. They do not require a license to go through. They can tag, filter, sort, so on and so forth. And, you know, first, thank you for your time for coming here. Thank you for all you do. Like I said, it's not an easy job out there. You guys are doing great. I'm really proud of the work you do, but I'm also proud of the work and the products that we've developed here. And I really, you know, I'd like to see it in your hands and you using this and be able to get your cases solved a little quicker, a little easier, get you through having to look at a lot of this stuff by eliminating it or categorizing it for you first. You know, we're optimized for speed and accuracy, putting the users to the like I said, in the artifact and the timeline view, easy to learn, full support. We do demos, we do one-on-ones, we come out and train. We're always here for your help. We have, at least my motto is no frustrated user. I know what it's like when you're on scene or you're going out on scene and you need something, give a call, call our support line, call me, and we will get you worked out. So we have all these products. You saw Digital Evidence Investigator Pro. We also have Mobile Device Investigator, which is just the mobile portion separate. And we have a couple other products. Request a free trial. Tryadf.com, fill out the form, and you'll get an evaluation version on the way to you. And with that, we can also set up a live one-on-one demo to show you how to get started and how to run it and to get the most out of it while you're evaluating the tool. I am going to cut it off there.